Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to take the L109S, the Matavish 3 GPS drone up for its test flight. Now I already did an unboxing overview for this a few days ago. It should be the previous video on my channel, but I'll try to remember to put a card up here on the screen to link back to that if you want to see what all comes with this drone. Now I figured some things out about this drone since I did that overview, and kind of disappointed in some of the things that I figured out. Now the drone does fly really well, so it's not that, thankfully, but for one, they say that the drone, like on the bottom of the box, is 4K. Other places, like on Banggood's website, it says that the drone shoots 1080p at 25 frames per second. Well, no, it shoots 720p at 25 frames per second, but it still looks pretty good. It's going to have that shakiness of a non-stabilized drone, but it didn't really have much jello. I know it's a little bit when I fired the props up on the ground, but it wasn't bad, so I was really surprised. I really thought this drone would be a jello fest, so I was kind of surprised to see that in a good way. So that's something that I was pleasantly surprised about with this drone. Now this drone appears to be like a slightly modified version of the Beast drone, which was really popular middle last year when it came out. So this seems to be similar to that, which I didn't realize that at the time. But yeah, it only shoots 720p. They also advertise, the second thing I wanted to point out is they advertise this image stabilization. Now they don't really say how it does it, but my understanding is the Beast drone has that in its app, and I don't see anything in the app included with this for any kind of image stabilization to turn on or off. Maybe it does something. They do include some phone specs, recommended and optimal. I'll put that up here on the screen out of the manual. I took pictures of that, so you can just pause the video if you want to read through that. I believe that's going to mostly be to ensure that your FPV feed is not super laggy, which seemed to be a problem on the Beast drone on a lower end phone. But maybe it does some image stabilization that I'm unaware of, but it's hard to eliminate jello. So I think that the fact mine doesn't have much of any jello is just simply I happen to get one probably with really well balanced props, because I saw another video online and it was really bad. So mine doesn't have that. At least not when I flew it yesterday, and today's a rather calm day. That will help a drone if it doesn't have to fight wind. Wind can actually introduce jello into a video, and today's actually a really nice day for flying. And the third thing I wanted to mention was they mentioned this drone has a type of image following. I think they call it IPP following. Maybe they meant APP as an app. Banggood calls it image follow, and it also advertises GPS follow. In the app, all I see is GPS follow. There's no app like active or dynamic tracking like DJI and Autel call it, where you draw a box around something and it will actually follow that by getting the information from the app on how to follow it around. And it does not do that. There's nothing in the app, so I don't know why the box says it. It says it on Banggood's site. Now maybe, I know there's several other versions of this drone, but they all use the same app, so I don't see how another version of this drone would actually have that. So I was disappointed to see that. I know there's a guy, and I'm going to forget your name, but you comment a lot of my videos about having follow me mode, and this drone does a pretty good follow, but it doesn't have like that image follow me, and it will not return back and land where you're located, where your phone or controller is. It will only return to home like most drones do. Some have the ability to return to your controller. This drone, of course, just returns to the home location. So that's the things that I wanted to cover. We'll go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and get it all bound up, and we'll take it up here for a test flight, and we'll see how it does for me today. So we'll take it up, and I'll go ahead and we'll go through the compass calibration, since that's really simple. So sorry for all the jibber jabber and talking, but I wanted to go over some things that I learned since I did the overview and table review the other day. It does have a zoom mode. I tested that on the ground, but I actually forgot to do it while I was flying. I'll try to remember to do that today. It's just, again, as I guessed in the table review, the zoom is just an optical zoom, of course. This camera has no way of doing a digital zoom. This drone has no way of doing an optical zoom. So it's just a digital zoom that is in the app, and it's just zooming in. It's going to get grainy. It's not going to look as good, but we'll try to record that today. Got quite a bit of traffic here from the city going by, guys. But we'll try to record some zooming in. It says it can do 50 times, which again is just, say it one more time to make sure I got it clear, is a digital zoom, which means it's just zooming in the software. There's no optical zoom, of course, on this drone. So let me go ahead and get it powered up, get it bound up with the app. I had some issues with the app getting it display the video feed full screen. It was wanting to chop it in half, but I got it to work several times, so I may take a moment to get that going. That's why I'm going to go ahead and stop, get it all going to where it's all ready to go, and then we'll come back and we'll take it up for the test flight. So I'll be right back with that, guys. Alright guys, so I have the L109S ready to go here. It's bound up with the controller, and it's bound up with my phone. Now my phone, even without the case, does not like to stay in this little tray that pulls out, so I'm going to set it off to the side. I'll obviously grab it for doing follow me mode when we test that. And you can also do some of the things, like you can do the compass calibration from down here in the corner, and you can also do your gyro calibration there, and we'll do both of those from the app so that you guys can see it. But you can also start the gyro and the compass calibration by doing a long press on these top buttons. So a long press on the speed for 1 second will enter into compass calibration. A long press on return to home will enter you in. It will actually just, of course, do the gyro or level calibration on this drone. Now I gotta remember to, when you get in this app, you gotta remember to select your drone. It'll still pull up and look like it's working, and it probably will work fine if you select the wrong drone. But just to be safe, make sure you select, in my case, they just call it the L109. I don't actually know what the S version is different than the regular. I can find no information, but this is the S version of the drone. And of course, because there's no SD card, you're just recording the Wi-Fi feed coming in. So I have to see how does that look. From my test yesterday up close, I didn't notice a lot of drop frames. This also uses your 802.11.AC, or otherwise known as your 5G Wi-Fi, so be sure that your phone does support that. So let's do the level calibration first. I'm going to set the controller off to the side, and we'll do it all with the app. So pressing this, and I believe it'll be this one, and it says start IMU calibration. It's successful. I do have, of course, make sure your drone is as level as possible when you do that. And then the compass looking one here will be for the compass calibration. It immediately says start your horizontal plane. So I'm going to set my phone down, and the controller, I believe, will beep too. And now I think it's switched to turn the upside down. So we're going to face it upright and keep going. And I believe it's successful there. Yep, that worked really well. I've had to do it a little longer when I was back at home. Maybe there was some magnetic interference, but all right, so we got the compass calibrated. It didn't necessarily say you have to, so you shouldn't have to compass calibrate every time you launch a drone, but a lot of these toys insist upon it just to be safe. But if you stay within 100 miles or so of the location you just calibrated, you're generally fine. But here I did it to be safe, but it didn't seem like it was insisting upon it. So you may not have to, what I'm getting at is you may not have to calibrate the compass every time that you do fly the drone. So let's go ahead and we'll take it up here, see how it flies. There are 2 rates. It's awfully sporty in the highest rate, though the yaw is almost a bit squirrely. I think it's almost too fast on the yaw. So let's go ahead here and we will start recording some video. And the video is recording. Of course, we got a screen recording going here too, but I'll try to include both. And it looks like we got 11 satellites. Let's go ahead and see. I think if you do, is it both sticks in or is it both sticks out? Sometimes it can be goofy getting this drone started. So let's see. A long press on the auto takeoff. Now, and then it lets me go. It's weird. the other day it was that way. It seems like I have to press the takeoff, then unlock, and then you can give it the takeoff, and there it goes. Maybe I did it wrong there. Maybe if I did the sticks in again, it would have unlocked. So nice and stable. It means we have a good compass calibration. This flies really well, like I said. I'm real happy with the way it flies. It does have optical flow, but of course it shouldn't be using that now unless it has no GPS signal. So there it is in the lowest rate. Let's go ahead and tap the speed and go up to the highest rate. You'll see the yaw kind of looks like it almost starts out a little slow and then speeds up, it seems like to me. And it can be a little bit, especially on a cloudy day like I flew yesterday, this grayish silver drone tends to blend in with the background of the clouds. And it was easy if you didn't look at your Wi-Fi, which I had my phone sitting to the side, to kind of lose your orientation as it kind of blends in. So we'll see how this video turns out here. The more aggressive flying like I'm doing now is going to be more likely to have some jello. So I mean, I did do that yesterday, but I mean, if we do get some today, it's probably because I'm able to open it up a little more here than I did in front of my house. I'm going to go back to the lowest rate because I feel like it's still plenty sporty, but it's going to be better for filming with that slower yaw rate. You can't slam it and go to full yaw speed in the lowest rate. So let's turn it around here, and let's see if I can look at my phone here, since like I said, it flies out of my holder. Well, it looks like we don't even have a video feed on the I don't know what happened there. Let's land it and see if we can restart the video. That's a problem with not putting the phone in the holder, is you don't know if you have a problem. All right, guys, let me see what's up there. I didn't realize that the video feed had froze on it. So let me go take a look and get that situated, and we'll be right back. At least you could there see the how it flew up close. So that was still a good flight test there. I'll be right back and we'll get it back in the air. All right, guys, so I just went back to the main menu and came back out, and then the app seems to be fine now. So if there was no video there included, it's because the app froze, but maybe I've not checked. So if there was any recorded onboard video, I'll include that. But of course, the screen recording just going to be having that frozen background. So I'll try to confirm that works here. I wanted to turn the digital zoom was what I was getting at. So let me go ahead and take it up here, and I'm not even going to record video. I'm going to try some photos. The photos actually are odd. They come out to 1080p. It's like it upscales from 720 to 1080p and still not 4K. So let's go ahead and see, will it unlock the props? Yeah, it did without hitting that button. So I probably just needed to be more patient. Let's go ahead and take it up. Let's see if we can make sure that the video feed, yeah, it is working now. So the FPV is working. Let's turn it around here. Now let's try the camera tilt. It's really a pain doing this without the phone mounted in my controller. Here we can lower the gimbal, and it only goes down about 45 degrees. But there, now it's aimed down at us. And let's try taking a photo. All right, and let's take off and take one just off in the other direction, maybe a little bit higher. And let's try in this one. Now we got it's kind of aimed down, so let's try aiming the camera back up. And that long beep lets you know I think it's all the way up. And let's try a photo there. Photos didn't seem to be too bad to me. Of course, like I said, they're just 1080p. There we got 3 photos. All right. Like I said, it flies really well. I really am happy the way it flies. Just easing it in here. And let's try the circle me mode. The circle me mode up here is up on the top. You press that, you can put a diameter. Let's put in 10. Boy, it's gonna be hard again, guys. I don't really need the controller for doing these smart modes though, but let's do 10 meters. Done. Press confirm. And it's gonna kind of lower. I'm gonna give it some throttle to raise it up. We're way too low. Let's take it up there. Let's see as it go. I think I have to redo it there. Let's try. Let's cancel it. It some reason stops. Let's try it again. 10 meters. That was 18. 10, and then press done, and then confirm. Now it'll do it. Because that was too low. I would have slammed into the sign right here. And there's the point of interest. So what it's going to do is it's going to, let me turn around this way so I don't get in the glare of the sun. Here it comes. It's going to circle the spot you mark it to start. It's not going to follow you. It's just circling the spot you tell it to. Just press it again to cancel it, and there we cancel it. Now I can stick with the phone now. Let's try that follow me again. This is just GPS follow. Now some of the other things this has down here, you have your camera tilt, the zoom. Let's try the zoom here. Let's see if the camera tilt will work. It looks like it might be. I don't know. I didn't have much luck with this the other day, but let's try zooming in. See, there you can see it zooming. Let's turn it with the sticks here. Let's yaw it some. I'm just flying with one hand here. I got it pointed the wrong way. Let's back it up. And let's turn it a little bit. And that means we've hit the first low battery there, guys. Let's see if we can tilt the camera down. Oh, that's up. Back down some. And let's try. I can see some jello wobble there. So I didn't really notice it yesterday, but it sure looks like I got some there. Let's do a zoom. You can see it zooming in. Let's back it up some. You see, it's really zoomed in. So yes, the digital zoom works, but boy, it's not anything to be too excited about. But I guess for a toy it works okay. And let's try that follow me really. Let's bring it back here closer to me. That's too far away. And see if we have enough battery to do return to home. They advertised 25 minutes on this. I don't think we've been flying that long, but then again, time flies when you're having fun. Let's do that follow me. I can get it started. Well, it's saying low. There we go. Follow me mode. It's almost like it didn't want to let me do it because of the low battery. But now it's doing it. So it's backing up here and it is following me. It does a pretty good job of it. Let's walk. I'm not going to go far, and I know the guy that likes this follow me, and I can't remember your name, is probably going to be disappointed, but we have a low battery. So I want to do a return to home accuracy test because I don't have the other battery charged. I used it yesterday, so I wish I would have charged it so I could have thrown it in, but then we also would end up with like a 40-minute video and you guys probably don't want to watch that. Yes, the follow me works. It's a little bit bobbly as it's moving there, but it did a pretty good job for a toy. I still consider this a toy grade drone. Go ahead and just cancel it and now it'll stop. Let's just fly it out here. I do have, if you look over here in the parameters, novice mode or beginner's mode off, and the flight distance and all that is set to max. But we're probably going to be geo-fenced, I suspect, on lower battery. Let's go ahead and fly it out here a little ways, as far as it'll let me at least. And it looks like it's capped right out in here, so the low battery is capping me. Now it's gonna fly back and land. Here it is overhead. Let's see how it does. That's actually what we wanted to test, so that's perfect. Let's see how accurate it is. And also make sure it doesn't come down on my van here. We should get an idea here on flight time between the two, you know, the flights. It's going to be off a bit. But within acceptable range for a toy grade, you know, drone that I consider this still to be. I'm going to see if I can cancel that. Now, it's just beeping like mad. Oh, it just keeps beeping. It's just a low battery, but I wanted to see if maybe some of that was his return to home beeping as well. So, oh, that is really, really annoying. So I'm going to try to turn this off, guys, so we have to listen to that maddening beeping. And on this drone, to actually turn this drone off, let me make sure that I don't think we were recording any video there, just the screen recording. So, and it looks to me like the feed is frozen, even though the drone is still turned on. But anyway, to turn this drone on and off, you do a quick. And oh, it actually looks like it turned off. I don't know. Quick and a long press, and that actually will get the meter going up or down to turn on or off this drone. All right, guys. I mean, this thing flies pretty good. I don't have a problem with the way it flies. Follow me on GPS. Follow worked well. The video looked decent. I thought I saw some jello wobble there yesterday. I really didn't see any. And sometimes just slight difference in flight conditions can affect jello, but today's really calm. So we'll see how much we get. If we get more today, I'll be disappointed because like I said, I literally had none yesterday, and it was much colder outside. I've noticed that cold temperatures tend to cause jello more, and I didn't have any. And of course, this is a motorized, you know, we did do a little testing of that, but it is kind of, as a lot of the servo control ones, it's jerky and it's a bit laggy with the feed. The things that disappoint me, of course, is the fact the video is only 720, not 2K, 4K, not even 1080 like it says on Banggood. But I thought it was decent, at least in my test yesterday. The lack of the image following to me is not a big deal. I've only seen that on one toy drone, but if it's going to be advertised, they need to have it, you know, on this drone. So that was, you know, disappointing on that aspect. Just the some of the features that it says that the drone has that it doesn't have. Again, in the image stabilization, I don't see that, but maybe it's doing it in the background a little bit, but I don't see any evidence of it. So, you know, if you want a drone that you can just fly around, it flies really well, can record some video, but it's not going to be anything really special, this drone's probably, you know, something you might want to consider. But if you're obviously looking for something that's going to record high definition video in full HD or better, and this is just HD at 720, it's stabilized and really well, obviously I would pass this up, because for a little bit more money, even the Eachine EX4 Aurora has a 3-axis brushless gimbal. It's really popular. It's not perfect either. It does have jello a little bit, but the gimbal actually functions, and you'll get a stabilized in terms of, you won't get a tilty, shaky, wobbly video. It's a much better built drone than this, and literally you can get a single battery version of that for probably $30 more than this. So I would consider the Eachine EX4 over this drone. But you know, this drone is not terrible because it does fly well. Just keep in mind that there are some faults with it, mostly in advertising. If they advertise these features that it actually has, I'd have no problem with it, really. I just don't like false advertising, which we see too much on these Chinese products. All right, guys, that wraps up the flight review of the L109S Matavish 3 brushless GPS drone. Hope you enjoyed this review. Sorry, there's some things went wrong, but that happens during reviews. But I think we got it done. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have any comments, you know, ask them, and I'll try to answer the best I can. Be sure to like the video and click the bell so you know when I do upload new videos. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day.
The power of the dark side.